Yo, peep this. You just clicked on Let's View It, and I'm Tyrone Cross. Welcome to my channel, so you already know. Let's view it. 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 What's up, real ones? Welcome to Let's View It, the realest unscripted channel on YouTube. So I don't read shit, I just talk it. And if you embrace the way I talk it, then after this video, subscribe up. Help support me, help support this channel, and help support the truth that I push and the way that I push it. But now, let's get into this video. In this video, I'm bringing another video where I'm dogging Neil Degrasse Tyson. I don't care. I'll take my 63% likes. Every time I make a Neil Degrasse Tyson video, I get about 62 to 63% likes. And speaking of likes and dislikes on the video, thumbs up or thumbs down, I'm starting to notice on YouTube, my thumbs downs come from people disagreeing with me. Which I don't care about the thumbs down, but I wish if someone disagreed with me, they would at least comment below and tell me why they disagree with me. The truth is, they probably disagree with me because it hurt their feelings. But also, they know if they put a rebuttal on the comment section, it gives me a chance to tear them up. And who wants that? So it's much easier to just press the thumbs down and then run away. And the reason why I brought this up is because every time I make a Neil Degrasse Tyson video, I already know it's going to be in the 60-something percentile. So now I know when I see a thumbs down, it's someone going, Neil Degrasse Tyson is a genius. Thumbs down. A trans woman is a real woman. Thumbs down. I love the devil. Thumbs down. So let's continue with the thumbs down theme and let me get into this Neil Degrasse Tyson video so you guys can get your thumbs down on. And in this video, I got a clip of Neil Degrasse Tyson doing an interview with Stephen A. Smith. Most of you guys probably know who Stephen A. Smith is, but for the ones that don't, he was a big figurehead on ESPN. He did a lot of sports news channels earlier in his career, but now he's moving on to politics and has a podcast. So on this podcast, he's interviewing Neil Degrasse Tyson, and he asked for his expert and genius opinion about transgenders. So you already know, let's view it.
We're living in a time now where you're born a man and you can say, I believe I'm a woman, and there's a sex change. Same thing with a woman becoming a man, those kind of things. How does that fall into, because that doesn't fall under quote unquote religious beliefs. Some would say to some degree it falls under science because it involves medicine in terms of the injection of hormones and things of that nature to alter your body physically. I'm a person that openly admits I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to ask the question in this day and age, Neil. That's how confusing it is to somebody like me. What is it to you who seems to understand a hell of a lot more than most humans?
Right away, you can see Stephen A. is feeding Neil Degrasse Tyson's ego. Please explain it to me. You're a man that understands more than the average human being. But you got to realize these podcasts and radio shows, they have ratings, right? And Stephen A. knows Neil Degrasse Tyson is an ego-driven person. So you get his ego revving up, he's going to start talking more. And the more he talks, the more stupid stuff he says, and the more ratings you get.
Was that because you're an old, unwoke?
I'm trying to be woke. That's the sad part about it. I'm trying to be
Get
understanding.
off my lawn.
I'm trying to be understanding. My daughter said to me, Dad, get with the times. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that happens, Dad. You got to be embracing and receptive to all things. I'm like, okay.
Let me agree. Let me throw you a lifeline here and say, I don't think we will ever be as woke as the next generation. So let me put that out there.
Thank you so much for letting
me know. No matter how hard we try.
Let me know that. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me know that. You great, wise, genius man. What would I be without you? Your presence alone is a sight to behold. Butter up that ego, Stephen A., and let's get these classic words out his mouth.
So, I actually spent a whole chapter on that very subject, and it's called Gender and Identity.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the issue is simpler than you have attempted to present it. All right. So if you look at our chromosomes. All right. They can be XX or XY.
Right. That I know.
And that's binary. That is, there's male and there's female. And there's some variance on that. That's a very small percentage of the total. But I want to focus on those two for the moment. That's male and female. Okay. So now let's move past that and say, do those chromosomes manifest in society? Okay. All right. So stay with me now.
I'm saying.
Do they manifest?
I'm right here.
So now I did this experiment. I was on the New York City subway. It was in the winter. Everyone has a big coat on. And so I'm just looking at heads sticking out of the winter coats. And I said, why do I know who's male and who's female as I go down the line? This is just a simple question I asked myself. And I say, well, these 6 people are female. Those 4 are male. Why am I sure of that? I was sure of it because what I was queuing on were features that are secondary and tertiarily added to a person's appearance.
He uses the same formula every time. Talk a bunch of nonsense, but throw in a big vocabulary word to solidify that you're smart. And one more quick thing. Neil Degrasse Tyson said there's X, Y, and XX. And then there's a spectrum in between. But let's just focus on those 2 for now. What do you mean for now? They're the only 2 that matter. There's male and female. Those variants that he's talking about in between, let's say intersex, that is 1.7% of the population. And even though they don't consider it a medical condition or a defect, it's not supposed to happen, but it does. We literally don't do that with any other medical abnormality. We don't. If a small percentage of people are born with 1 arm, we don't start saying, well, most people have 2 arms, but then there's variance in between. So the way he presents and sees this whole discussion is already with the transgenderism mind.
So all the girls, compared to the boys, I looked at what are the girls doing? They have, on average, longer earrings. They have 2 earrings. They have, on average, longer hair. They have eyeliner. They have tweezed eyebrows, longer nails, on average, painted nails. They have makeup, a blush. Okay, and if there was any hair on their upper lip that got removed, tweezed, or what's it with the laser? Yes. Right, got removed. Any hair between the eyebrows, removed. If it's all trimmed there, and I said, those are the girls. What are they wearing? They're wearing girls' clothes. Well, how do I know they're girls' clothes? Just go to the store. They know how to sell you girls' clothes. There's a whole section for just girls and women. Okay, I'm just saying girls and boys. How about the boys? Oh, the boys. If there's anyone who is a little thin and flabby, they went to the gym. So they sitting down and they got some muscles they can show you. And they've got, yeah. They might grow a beard and a mustache because that's a manly thing to do. And they're wearing boy clothes because they went to the boy section of the store to get it. And if the women's chest is not as large as she wants it, she goes and gets surgery to make it bigger, as 300,000 American women do every year.
I know several. You're right.
Okay, yes. So my point is, apparently the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient. Because when we wake up in the morning, we exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice.
There's absolutely no way anyone can convince me that this man's smarter than me. I don't care if he can name 2,000 billion made-up galaxies. I don't care. This man right here needs Maybelline to tell the difference between a woman and a man. We all know that women present themselves differently and groom themselves differently and dress themselves differently because they're a woman. Men don't like wearing makeup, and the ones that do, we don't think they're women just because they put on makeup. But this genius right here, if you had a group of men that shaved their face and their head, and then had a group of women that washed all the makeup off and shaved their head, and put them all in the same clothes and told him to go kiss one, he would go probably kiss a man and say, "Oh, I couldn't tell that was a man. How am I supposed to tell the difference without Maybelline and earrings?" And I guess he will also be tricked by a man that shaves his face, puts on lipstick and mascara and a long wig and tries to give him a smooch. Literally the only way these transgenders pass as men or women is by testosterone or hormone blockers. When they don't get the medical parts done, you get RuPaul. And by the way, your science guy here is saying science is overridden by the person's feeling inside them and how they present themselves. He said the chromosomes
are insufficient
when it comes to how we feel in the morning and how we want to present ourselves. This guy's so smart.
Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is. And so now, so now just to tie a bow on this, I say to you, somewhere I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosomes, today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I might feel 80% male. I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt. Why do you care?
Yeah.
What business is it of yours to require that I fulfill your inability to think of gender on a spectrum? And what I found in the human mind is that we go out of our way to put things in categories, in bins, all right? Because that makes it easier for us. So that's why people come up to you and say, well, you a boy, are you a girl? Choose one. Which are you? I say, no, maybe I'm a little of both. Wait, maybe a little above this. No, you have to be one or the other. No, I will not be what you require just because you can't think on a spectrum. I'm going to be what I want to be. And we have known this as children. Every single class, there was the girl who was the tomboy. We have words for them. Tomboy. There's the tomboy who wore boys' clothes, who got dirty with the boys. And she didn't have long hair. She had short hair. And even if she did have long hair, it was tied up in a bun so it didn't get in the way.
This dude has a punchable face. And he's a clown, which makes the face more punchable. He literally contradicts himself and doesn't know what he's saying. And he also uses transgender tactics when he's having these conversations. He changed the conversation to why do we care how they dress and present themselves? We don't. That never was the topic. The topic is, are trans women real women and are trans men real men? We already know there's cross-dressers. We already know people dress weird. We already know all of this. And we already know we can't control what adults do and dress like. So when it comes to how someone chooses to present themselves, we don't give a damn. What we care about are transgenders making it so we have to agree that they are real men or women. That we have to let them into the bathroom they want to go in. That we have to let them join the sports that they want to join. This is where we start disagreeing. When they start taking their fantasy and trying to mix it with reality. Keep dressing and looking the way you look. Who cares? But stop pushing it into our society, meaning into our lives, meaning into how we have to function. That's what we care about. Neil deGrasse Tyson knows this, but for some reason, he turned it into about how they dress and look. And he also brought up another very ignorant point when he said, why does it matter to you if I feel 80% male and 20% female? How is that possible? What does male feel like? What does female feel like? How do I know right now that I don't feel half female and I just don't realize it? But in reality, I'm all male and I still don't feel it. I don't feel it. I just know it. Just like I know the hat I'm wearing is black. I don't feel that it's black. I know that it's black. So you can really see Neil deGrasse Tyson is wide awake.
Do you know Joan of Arc?
Yes.
Do you know why? Half the reason why she was burned at the stake back in the 1400s? Most people don't know. I ask people, they don't know. The reasons brought against her was for cross-dressing. for dressing like a man. Now, if she's going to lead soldiers into battle on a horse, you can't do that in a skirt riding side saddle. Okay. So of course she's going to wear pants. All right. But here's a very early example of someone who didn't fit a gender category held by others. And all I'm saying is, in the people I identified as female and male on the train, if some of those females were chromosomally male, it didn't matter to me. I see them as female. That's how they present.
Dude's full of BS. Let's just see about this Jonah Arc thing. You see, when it comes to Neil deGrasse Tyson, he just makes stuff up. So a lot of times you have to do your own research. So let's see what Google has to say about why Jonah Arc was burned at the stake. 19-year-old Jonah Arc, who claimed to have received visions from the Archangel Michael, Saint Margaret, and Saint Catherine, was burned at the stake in 1431 for hearsay by an English-dominated tribunal. To the end, she continued to claim that the voices she had heard all her life were divine in nature. So as you can see right here, she was burned at the stake in 1431 for wearing Levi's. Just like Neil deGrasse Tyson said, because he's so smart, all you got to do is just listen to him and you instantly get smarter. Don't check anything he says and believe everything he says. He's the go-to man. You understand? The truth is he's a paid figurehead. And I don't care who that pisses off or who says, you can't prove that he's paid off. Prove it. Look, all of history, they have been paying scientists to push agendas and to be the face of movements. Einstein was paid. Darwin was paid. Neil deGrasse Tyson, paid. Bill Nye, the science guy, not even a science guy, but still paid. Now, if you don't want to believe Neil deGrasse Tyson is paid, fine. Everything he does and says is volunteer work. Even if you want to say he's just scared to get canceled, in other words, you mean not go to work and not get paid? And let's face it, even if I put in the hard work and research and digged up any proof of who might be paying Neil deGrasse Tyson or what groups he's associated with, you still wouldn't believe it anyways. But look at it this way. It makes as much sense as someone saying, do you know that politician's paid off? And then someone saying, how do you know? Prove it that he's paid off. They know damn well that they're paid off. Are the receipts just going to be put in front of our face? Of course not. But if you want to believe that we live in an honest world where people are allowed to say whatever they want and push whatever they want, however they want, then you must feel cozy. But either way, you can clearly see Neil deGrasse Tyson is down for the cause. Maybe you think he's doing it for free. Fine. But one thing you know for fact is that he'll turn his back against science to push transgenderism. And now that you know that, all I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you think Neil deGrasse Tyson actually believes this? Or do you think he's doing it for the moolah? And why the hell did he say that thing about Jonah Arc? Were there even pants back then? But while you're telling me your thoughts, I'm also going to need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hitchhiker button and sub ride with me. And I'll see you on the next trip.
Day and night. Keep it real. Keep it real.